In this episode, I will start fitting the carburetor seat. This is the original seat, including rear fender part of it. And now the goal is to fit this seat. It's a cheap carburetor seat, bought on eBay. Price was $35. It came with some brackets. I have done some small testing, and of course the brackets that was included didn't actually fit, but can be used as a starting point. I made a small bracket here just to get the height right, so let me show you how it fits. And of course it doesn't really fit 100%. The size I feel is okay. It's ending here at the center of the wheel. This angle is not correct, so I want to do some modification. I need it to be wider. I'm trying to squeeze it in here now. So this is the fit I want to have. This distance is too narrow. I need to widen it a bit. Let's take off the cover and see what's underneath and check if it's possible to make some modifications and make it a bit wider at the front. By using a heat gun, I was able to bend out the sidewall of the seat. Of course, I did it on both sides. When trying to fit the seat, it touched the bracket on the rear part of the tank, so I had to cut it a bit shorter to make the seat go all against the tank rear wall. So here I'm trying to fit the seat for the first time after all the modifications, and I must say I was really happy with the result. Next job was to fix the seat cover. It needs to be aligned with the new angle on the front part. I started to measure where I wanted a new seam and cut off the original stitches, one side at a time. Then I cut off the excess material, and then it was time for the sewing. You might think operating a needle should be pretty easy, but it's not, I can assure you. It is in a total 5 layers that needs to be aligned, and I wanted all stitches to have an equal and precise distance. So for me, this was a challenge. I spent close to 1 hour per side, and here I will show the whole process. Relax, I'll run the video 100 times faster than the actual speed, and I will also cut away most of the mistakes. So here you go. And then the job was done on the first side. And as always, it's very exciting to test out the result. It is far from perfect, but well, I'm happy. It better be good enough. And then it's the same job once more on the other side. Done. And then it's just one remaining task, which is quite easy and satisfying to do. The fabric is wrapped around the edge of the seat bottom plate, and I just use a powerful staple gun to fasten the cover. The bottom plate is made of a quite soft plastic material, so this was a really easy task and quickly done. And here is the final result. I managed to get the cover back on quite firm, just as before the modifications. Both sides looks to be symmetrical, so it's time to get back down to the garage and test it on the bike. So, by the way, I've done some more work off camera. I made this bracket. This rubber here was originally mounted on the side of the seat, so I just used the same one on this temporary bracket, and I also fixed slightly the front end here, or the front part. So this now fits quite nice here. Okay, I gotta freeze the video here. This is actually the start of my next video, and it's not a recording from the evening when I was testing the modified seat for the first time. I have to admit that the first test was not 100% successful. And in my eagerness to be done with the seat that late evening, or maybe because of the disappointment that it did not quite fit the first time I tested it, well, for some reason I just forgot to make a recording of it. I'd wrapped the cover too firmly over the upper front of the seat, so I got a small gap between the tank and the seat. It was easily fixed though. I just removed the staples at the front of the seat, added a thin layer of rubber foam on the seat front part, and put it all together again, but wrapped the cover less firmly this time. And what you see here is the final result after just some minutes of improvements. I guess you have noticed the big gap under the seat, or like between the seat and the frame. In my next video I will show how I fix this, as I'm making a custom frame hoop for this bike. It's quite unusual compared to the ones you normally see on cafe racer projects. So I hope you will take a check on my next video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day!